Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. So in this video we're going to be implementing something which is really important, especially if you're someone who is with a couple of years of experience. This is something which you have to do on regular basis every 3 to 4 months. So the thing that we are doing in this video is taking the backups of your Kubernetes cluster. So why is it so important to take backups of your Kubernetes cluster? It's so important because whenever you perform something which can potentially break your cluster, say uh, releasing a new deployment that can potentially break your application, you take backups, and if something goes wrong, you always have the backup to restore your cluster to the last working state. Okay, and then the second thing for which I say it, you do this thing more frequently every 2 to 3 months is because of the upgrade. So every 2 to 3 months, Kubernetes release a new version, and you have to keep your cluster up to date, and you have to do the upgrade every few months. So for that, before before doing the upgrade, you have to take the backup of your cluster as well, because this is something, upgrading the cluster is something which can potentially break something, and which can I mean something can go wrong along the way while taking the doing the upgrades. So it's always advisable, and it's always good to take the backup before doing anything, whether that's releasing a new update or doing an upgrade of the cluster. It's always important to take the backup so you can do the restore. Okay, so to perform this practical, first thing first, we have to have a cluster, Kubernetes cluster. So I don't have a Kubernetes cluster, so first I'm going to spin up a Kubernetes cluster. So for that, I have this Terraform code which will create a couple of EC2 instances on AWS, and we are then provisioning a Kubernetes cluster and make one of them as a master node and one of them as a worker node. So let me quickly uh, provision the infrastructure. So I'm right now, as you can see, I have multiple folders here. So I am inside the infra folder here, and let's do Terraform apply dash auto approve. So let's minimize this and show you what this thing is doing. So it will in the US East 2 region, it will create one worker node. And the reason why I have mentioned this worker node count here is because if I want, I can increase it. Okay, so that's why it is in the variable section. But for the master node, I have just specified I just need one master node. That is what I have done here. Okay, one master node, one worker node, and then the SSH key, that is what it is going to give us. And then using the SSH key, we will then log into each of these instances and then install Kubernetes in both Kubernetes components in both of these instances, and then we'll be then able to maybe install an application. I have a manifest file here as well. Actually, we will create 5 replicas of an Nginx instance, and then we'll take the backup once we deploy this Nginx, and then we'll delete this Nginx deployment. And the reason why I'm deleting this is because just to see if when we restore from the backup, do we get this deployment back or not? Because ideally we should be able to get this deployment back, because that is the reason why we are taking the backups, right? So this is what we are going to be doing, and this is going to be really something which is really practical, and something you must have already done. Otherwise you will have problems in while you are actually working on these sort of things. So it's taking some time. Okay, so my EC2 instances are ready. So let me quickly SSH into the master node first. So I'm going to copy this SSH command for the master node. Let me go into another tab and cd into the infra folder. I'm going in the infra folder because my SSH key is in the infra folder. Okay, and then enter this command, and there you can see I am inside the master node. So I am going to rename this to master, And what I'm gonna do is, I have got few scripts here. You can see this is in the scripts folder. I have few scripts. This is the install folder, and inside the install folder I have got a couple of scripts. One is for the master node, one is for the worker node. The script in the master .sh file is basically for the master node. This is the script which you can use. So I'm going to copy this, sudo, and then what I'll be doing, I'll try to execute sudo vi install .sh. okay, and then paste it here. Then I'll try to execute this script so that we have our master node ready, and it has all the Kubernetes component ready. So this will install all the master node components on the master node. And similarly, I'm going to copy the SSH command for the worker node as well. And let's create another one and rename this as worker, and then cd into infra, and then paste it here. This will allow us to SSH into the worker node. So I'm going to copy this command, Control Alt copy, and then similarly sudo vi install.sh, and then shift insert, Control Shift V, and then let's save this and let's try to execute this. So let's check the status in the master node. It is still doing the installation, and also it's also doing the installation in the master node. It will take some time, and then we'll have the on the master node we'll get the join command, and we'll copy that and paste it in the worker node so that our worker node join the master node. So I'm going to pause the video and then we'll continue from there on. So we are done with the installation of Kubernetes components on both the worker node and the master node. So let's check the master node, and here we can see we have already got the join command. I'm going to copy this and paste it in the worker nodes so that the worker joins the cluster. Okay, so I need to do sudo so our worker node has joined the cluster. So let's check the master node, and let's do sudo kubectl get nodes. So you can see that we have two nodes. This one is the master node, and this one is the worker node. So what I'm going to do is, like I mentioned, I'm going to copy in the manifest folder. I've got this app.yml, which is just deploy an nginx deployment, and it will create 5 replicas of nginx. Just copy this and try to deploy this in our Kubernetes cluster. Okay, what I'll do is sudo vi app.yml, and then just paste it here, save it, and then sudo kubectl apply -f, and then apply this YAML. So what it will do is, it will create a deployment and few paths for us. kubectl sudo kubectl get paths. It's not, it's sudo. So as you can see that we have few 5 replicas of nginx pod. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the backup of the cluster right now, and at this particular point in time, if we take the backup should contain whatever is running in our cluster. Okay, so to take the backup, first thing I have here in the scripts folder, I have this backup folder in which the backup.sh is the script which will take the backup of the cluster. Okay, So to take the backup of the cluster, first thing first, you have to have the etcdctl client install. Okay, so first thing first, we need to install that on the masternode. So let's do that. Sudo sudo apt install. Actually, let's get the command from so this is the command to install the etcd client. So we need to install this on the masternode, and once it's done with the installation, I'll take you to the script and show you or explain to you what exactly the script is doing. So first thing first, we are creating a folder in the opt directory called cluster backup. We are creating this folder, right? And then the command that we use is this command, sudo etcdctl snapshot -save, and then the path of the snapshot or where we want to save the snapshot, and then the csert, then the cert, and then the key. Okay, all of these are stored in this etcd folder in the Kubernetes in the Kubernetes folder. So what I have done is I've created all of them here as an environment variable, and then just referencing them here while taking the snapshot. Okay, it's just one command. I have done this thing just to simplify the process. So this is the path of the file where we are taking the snapshot. So let's copy this and sudo vi snapshot.sh. Okay, and then shift I, control shift V, escape, WQ, and now I have saved the snapshot script. Now I have to actually execute the script. So sudo bash snapshot. It's not sudo. As you can see that it has taken the backup, and it's saying that backup completed successfully. So this is the file, this is the path where our backup is. So I'm going to copy this, control shift C, and let's try to do cat on this file. Okay, let's do sudo cat. So it is producing a massive file here. So this is the backup, or this is the file which has all the information of our cluster. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something interesting. Okay, so let's clear this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the, if I do kubectl get pods, sudo kubectl get pods, we have these pods running, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these pods. So sudo kubectl delete -f. So it will delete, and it has deleted all the paths. Okay, nginx pods. So if I do this again, you should see that there is no pod in this namespace because we have deleted the pods, nginx pods, right? So now if we restore our cluster to that snapshot which we have taken just now, which was before this deletion, we should get all these nginx pod back again, right? So to take the back to restore from the snapshot, I've got this script, and this script is actually running this command. Okay, so sudo etcdctl snapshot restore, and path of the restore where path of the snapshot where the snapshot has been taken. So this is the I'm going to update the path which I just copied, and I'm going to paste it here. This is the path where we have taken the snapshot, and then actually and then it restores the state. But even with this restore, we might not see the correct state of our cluster. To see the correct state of our cluster, we have to do the restart of the containerd and also recreate or restart the static pods or etcd pods, and that is done by just moving the manifest of the static pods to another location, which is what I am doing here. I'm moving these static pods to this location, and then I am moving back to their original location again. This way, this movement of this manifest file will cause the pods to restart, and then we are again doing the restart of the kubelet. Here, actually, before doing everything, any of these steps, we have to first stop the kubelet and the containerd, and at the end we have to then restart the kubelet as well as the containerd. So this way we will be able to get back or will restore to the snapshot which we have just taken. So I'm going to copy this whole script, and what I'm going to do is sudo vi restore .sh, and then let's paste him here. Let's save. Now let's try to run this script bash restore, and once this script is executed, we should be able to see our nginx pods back again, because before while at the time we took this backup, we had those nginx pods running, right? So let's execute the script. It is restoring, and it's restarting the etcd pods, and hopefully after the restart, okay, and it's done with the restore process. So let's check. kubectl get pods. Okay, it will take some time, but we should be able to get those pods back again. So as you can see that we have all the pods now ready. So let me show you. kubectl get pods. So you can see that all the pods are coming up, and it's trying to bring it to the original state based on the snapshot which we have. So this is how we take the backup of a Kubernetes cluster. In the next video, we will take it a step further, and then we will implement the process to have to upgrade a Kubernetes cluster.